Hi there, this is your favorite human being, Moses. How are you doing today? Are you okay? Have you had anything to eat today? Or are you hungry? If you're hungry, why are you hungry? Is it because there's nothing to eat? Well, if you have nothing to eat, there has to be a reason for that. I'm pretty much sure there are many people who actually have a reason or the other that they haven't eaten. So, why haven't you eaten today? Is it because you're actively busy trying to meet deadlines? That's the case with you, but I wish you well, and hopefully, once you're done with your deadlines, you definitely will be able to give yourself a wonderful meal, right? Or maybe you haven't eaten because you're fasting. Well, I join you in praying that God answer your prayers. Yeah. If you haven't eaten because of dietary restrictions, I want to encourage you to get more information, more knowledge on healthy eating. This is very, very important because personally, I remember when I had bloody stools, leading into piles. And for me, I can say I mostly suffered needlessly because if there was much information, I probably could have avoided that. So get enough information, get enough knowledge to be able to pick and select your foods correctly so you can stay healthy. So I wish you well. But if you're hungry by default, and that means you're unable to afford food, then we have to talk about this. What is the way forward if that's the case with you? And unfortunately, there are many people who are actually working and yet are unable to make ends meet. They're unable to feed their family and provide adequate food, for the family, despite the fact that they're working. But you definitely don't want that to be the perpetual situation with you. What is the way forward? One, I'd suggest you get a side hustle. Think of something extra that you can do to make more money. Yeah, you have to look out for opportunities. For example, many years ago, I was in a small cell meeting with um, some members of the church, of my church, and after the service, two of the leaders were discussing, and I overheard one asking the other about, the clearing of the grass and the bush in the church compound. And the other one responded, telling him that they had been looking for the people responsible for the job and that they had always paid them on time, but they had problem finding them, at that point in time. This was a private discussion, and they both agreed that they were gonna continue to search for someone, you know, out to help clear the grass in the church. When I overheard them, I quickly ran up to them and I told one of them that I could do the job. And he was shocked and surprised and looked at me and told me, "Are you sure? Are you really sure you could do this?" I told him yes. Frankly speaking, at that point in time, I never had any experience with clearing grass, especially manually. But I was a young man then, an undergraduate. I needed the money. All of my financial support always came from one source and it was not adequate. So I needed the money. And I knew that I had enough strength as a young man to do the job, regardless of experience or not. And he told me that the church would pay. Man, I got at it and, God helped me. I was able to do that not just once, but continuously for as long as I was there at that point in time, that they needed me. I was able to continually do that job, and that fetched me money For me at that point in time, it was better than begging. I wasn't really hungry then. There was more than enough food at home, but I needed finance to support myself at school. And if there was anything I could do, that was just it. So put your ears down, look for opportunities, something to add to your income. And if you don't already have a job, go look for one. Another thing you must do is don't isolate yourself. Associate with people. Go do volunteer programs. Go take up an internship. You don't have to be paid, yeah, for an internship. Many years ago, I did the same thing. Just finished my, compulsory government service. Was looking for a job. Didn't have one yet. Still, you know, through a friend, it told me there was an opening for internship somewhere. After some months, we were fortunate to get job through that program. So try to associate, with people. Try to, volunteer for some program. It could even be church programs, but do not isolate yourself. If you isolate yourself, that's more problem to you. In fact, my father told me maybe once or twice that whenever I discovered that there was no food at home and I was hungry, he said, do not stay at home. Put on your dress and go out, mingle with your friends. It could happen on something on the way. And that's always better than staying home whenever there's nothing, to eat at home. So go out, mingle. Not only that, at any point you're unable to take care of yourself, you are in deep need. That's the point your level of alertness should be at its highest. Yeah. Be on the alert. Look out for opportunities rather than problems. You might have a neighbor who has a space, that he's not making use of. You can go discuss with him. Oh, neighbor, look at, the grass on this side of your place. uh, would you allow me, put some vegetables there? And definitely I'll share with you once I'm done. This place will be good for vegetables. Go there if he allows you. But the bottom line is you have to talk, you have to reach out, discuss. These are opportunities that are always lying low, but people are not taking advantage of them. Some time ago, I spoke with my younger brother. You know, he was living in his house, and everyone is talking about how difficult things are back in Nigeria. And I told him, so you are living in your house, in your compound, all alone with your family. Are you able to, plant some vegetables to support your food need? And he gave one excuse after the other. Oh, I need to fence the place. The neighbors' goats are always, coming around and eating stuff. Well, I kept on encouraging him. And as I speak to you today, fortunately for him, days ago, he sent me pictures of vegetables, of, potatoes that he harvested from his compound. Now he has, vegetables growing in his compound. And that's for him to benefit, he and his family to benefit. So that's exactly what I'm saying. When you're in hunger, when you're in need, you don't have to perpetually remain in that condition. You have to think of a way out. So every time you are opportuned to have food on your table to eat, don't forget your prayer wine. Some have food but cannot eat. Some can eat but have no food. We have food and we can eat. Glory be to thee, O Lord. That should be the prayer rhyme on our lips. And if you're fortunate enough to have more than enough food at home, make it a point of duty not only to share, but when people come visiting, do offer them food. A lot of people, when they come visiting, they come, with hunger. And when you offer them something to eat, hopefully you've been able to solve their problem for that moment. Thank you for being with me today. I hope you learned one or two things. Let's make sure we make our world a better place. Let's share the little we have. And God bless you as you do so. See you next time.